Hello, everybody. This is Miss Carolyn 71. I'm coming back to do another video. I wanted to just kind of talk about 6 reasons why, and I just came up with six. It's actually more than that, but I only came up with about six of them. Six reasons why a narcissistic or a toxic person hurt you, and I want to kind of give some examples of why they do it as well. Well, number one is emotional manipulation, and as also gaslighting as well. So they like to they like to twist or deny what is reality to you. They like to, they'll blame you for things that you didn't do. They will make you doubt your own memory, your own feelings. It's like they'll try to make you think that you're crazy. Oh, well then you didn't hear that, and you know what you just heard. Oh, I didn't say that, but you know what they said. Just try to make you feel like like you're crazy or stupid or whatever. It's it's really a like one of the ultimate signs of disrespect, in my opinion. And the reason why it hurts is because it it um it erodes your own self-trust, you being able to trust yourself, and also your confidence. It also diminishes your level of confidence as well. I mean, you know it it leaves you uncertain about what is true and what is not, and also and how you should feel about it. you know um Number two is lack of empathy and invalidation. So they are really quick to dismiss your emotions, dismiss how you feel, or as well as disrespect your boundaries. By one way that they do it is by overreaction or being selfish, acting like as only their feelings is the one that matters. You don't matter. Your feelings don't matter, but theirs do. Because let's just keep it honest. One thing about toxic people or narcissistic people is that it's always about them. And I don't care what the situation is or the conversation or whatever it might be, they always try to make it about them. They will. Number three, constant need for control. Okay. And I think I talked about this in my last video. They have a constant need for control and comparison. So now what happens with that is like they like to macromanage. I mean, they like to dictate to you how you should think, how you should behave, how they want things done. And then they try to compare you to other people too. They try to compare you to other people. And this is another way how they can reinforce their own superiority over you as well. And the reason why, when they do something like that, the reason why it hurts is because it makes you feel insecure. It makes you feel less than. It makes you feel inadequate. It makes you feel like you're not good enough. You know, and they have a really good way of making it look like it's something wrong with you when it's really is something wrong with them. You know, real quick to shine the spotlight on your shortcomings, you know, or the things about you that's, um, that's not right in their eyes, but they are far 5 times worse than you. But they don't want you to um, shine the spotlight on them like they do you. Number 4, exploitative or transactional interactions. Now, what happens? This is when they expect favors, support, resources, uh, uh, but they don't reciprocate and they don't appreciate. uh, and then they'll turn around and use guilt and shame to try to get what they want from you. Or I have a family member that they like to bring up the past a lot, like what they did for you in the past, and I'm talking about bringing up something from 30 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm talking about some stuff that you done forgot all about. It's not even a factor no more. But they will definitely try to guilt you and make you feel some kind of way, and to doing favors for them or giving them what they want. And then sometimes try to make you feel like you should be obligated to do it. I've experienced that myself. Now, I'm going to tell you why this hurts. Because it can create a imbalance in the relationship. And then it will leave you drained, like mentally, emotionally drained. Or make you feel like that, you are being taken for granted, which in most cases you are. You are being taken for granted. Number 5, devaluation and the discard. The discard cycle. So what happens with that? Okay. This is when they it's kind of like they'll build you up just to put you down, kind of. They'll idolize you at first. Um, uh, you know, um, then they'll quickly de-evaluate you, criticize, belittle, sometimes followed up by a discard or a cutoff. And the reason why that hurts is because it's the inconsistency of it all. The inconsistency can be destabilizing. It can be damaging. It can damage your self-worth. And especially if these patterns are constantly being repeated over and over and over again. This person is constantly doing this to you. Now that's number 5. Number 6 is boundary violation and boundary breaking. Now this is one of my big ones too. You definitely have to have boundaries in place when you're dealing with toxic people, especially if this is a family member, or somebody that you have to deal with on a regular basis. If you just have to deal with them, definitely got to have boundaries in place. Now, what happens with this when they violate boundaries or they try to break the boundary? This is when they'll push you past your limits. That's like, how far you will go. They'll violate your privacy, or they will demand um, uh, excessive control or some type of closeness to you. Um, uh, they'll and then they'll often try to rationalize it as, it's for your own good. It can be smothering kind of too, like very smothering. Um, and the reason why it hurts is because it it undermines your sense of safety. You don't feel safe with this person. Um, and it makes you feel unsafe as well as exploited. Yeah, they definitely I mean, feelings, they could care less. And then you have some that will, they they know that they hurt you, and and they will come back and apologize. But if they do apologize, it's a reason why they do it. As far as, like, it's got to be some kind of gain to it. Like, for instance, they may apologize to you because uh, they depend on you for something. You may be the breadwinner in the home. Maybe you pay half the bills in the household. You supply something that they need. So they'll come back and give you some old half emotional apology. Um, and then, of course, that's just to try to, to uh, stay, to have access to the resources that you offer. And then there are some, and I know some in my family like this. They will hurt you, and you will never ever ever get an apology. They are not going to apologize to you, hands down. And you could look them in their face over and over again for years to come, but you will never get an apology, and then have the audacity to act like it never happened, that they never did this to you. uh, so I want to give you some steps to consider, when you are dealing with this type of dynamic. These are some constructive steps that you can consider. You have to validate your experience, acknowledge what you're feeling, and and let them know that it hurts, or you acknowledge this to yourself, that the hurt is real. You have to set clear boundaries, as I just said, and you have to define what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Um, you know, um, let them know what you are willing to accept. You know, and stick it to them. Stick it to them good. Let them know that that you're let them know what you're not going to tolerate. Now, if you feel like that you need to seek some kind of support, you can talk to a trusted friend or a family member, or maybe sometimes and I've seen people do it, because I work in mental health, so I can tell you sometimes they have to that person that's experiencing dealing with this kind of person may have to go seek counseling. They may have to go seek a mental health professional who can offer some kind of perspective, and some kind of coping strategy. And then another thing you can do to for those that want to just kind of like study this person, and the patterns that they have. You can document those patterns, keep notes, uh, and you can keep notes of like any kind of specific incident that may have that may have happened to understand the cycle, you know, uh, and you know, and then not only that, understand the cycle and then inform decisions about contact or separation, because um yeah, sometimes you have to separate yourself from these kind of people. Me personally, um I just prefer to go no contact. That's just me. I think that the no contact rule is the number one best advice. um you know um because I've had to do this many, many times. And I even have family members that I try to keep if I have to have some sort of contact with them, I keep my contact at a minimum. I keep it very, very low. I really don't talk with them unless I just have to. But other than that, I just rather just go no contact. It's just a good way for me to keep my peace. That's all. But anyway, uh, another thing is you have to evaluate evaluate the relationship. Decide whether you can safely set boundaries with this kind of person, because sometimes you can't, depending on the type of narcissistic or toxic person you may be dealing with. Because sometimes, like I said, if it's really bad, it may be healthier and safer just to end contact. Just go no contact. And then you also have to practice uh self-care, your own self-care, build your own self-esteem. And you can do that with activities, and be around people who can pour into you. Be around people who can reinforce your worth. Be around people that can speak life into you. And validate and value your good qualities about you. you know Appreciate you, and let you know that you are valued, you are loved, you are appreciated. you know but yeah, these are just a few traits that I know of, but I know many more. uh but these are just a few that why they try to hurt you. Why do toxic people try to hurt you, and the reason why they do it. But I hope that this message helps somebody. Also, I believe it's in my description box below, that I also do life coaching. For anybody that may be interested. Um, so I think my email is down below as well. So, but anyway, if this video blesses you in any kind of way, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And Merry Christmas to you guys. And I hope you have a blessed one. Bye bye.